conversation will be focused on local government. What do you think we're going to get into here? Grants, okay, local resources. I have to tell you, for myself, during COVID, I had to relearn how important the library is. And okay, all right, are you a librarian? Oh, love librarians. The power of your local resources. It's something to think about, and we'll be exploring that in this conversation. Let me go back to the script because I do not want to say anything wrong. Okay. So most entrepreneurs have no idea how many resources exist in their own backyard, again, like the library. This next conversation is about learning how to use what's already available to you. So let's get to know our speakers. First, we have Sandy Castor. She's Department Head of Economic Development for Middlesex County, and Djenaba Johnson-Jones, founder and CEO of Hudson Kitchen. It's a good song. So together they will be exploring the programs, funding opportunities, and relationships available through local government that small business owners often leave on the table. So I cannot wait to hear this resourceful conversation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to say this room looks amazing, but more than this room looking amazing, it has been a very impactful conversation, I know, at least for me. And I get the pleasure of doing this job every day in Middlesex County. So ULA is in Middlesex County. It is in Carteret. I implore you to visit it, also to support my fellow Haitian sister. And everything that she said, if you grow up in a West Indian household, there's only one way. And it's the successful way. And you have a praying mother, grandmother, aunties, and all of that. And that's what gets you through this. So her prayer was very simple. It was prayed before she got here. So, but the work that we do in Middlesex County is really embedded in supporting our community, especially supporting our local municipalities. So we have 25 municipalities here in Middlesex County. You are sitting in a building that we helped provide conduit financing for, the New Brunswick Performing Arts Center. And right next door, although it is called State Theater of New Jersey, it is owned by Middlesex County as well. So we are heavily invested in the arts. We are heavily invested in the community. And I'm really deeply honored to be here with Djenaba today because she has found a way to crack the code, right? When you hear about businesses being successful, oftentimes they don't talk about government. They talk about all of the private funding that you can get. But there's so much public resources that are available to you. And I would love to understand and for you to share with everyone your personal journey to starting your business and what your business is. And then we're going to get into like how you found out about all the resources that are available to you, not only at the local level, state level, federal level, because you have tackled all of them. So,
hi, my name is Djenaba Johnson-Jones. I'm the founder of Hudson Kitchen. So Hudson Kitchen is a food business incubator and shared kitchen based in Kearney, New Jersey.
I won't hold that against her because that's not in Middlesex County.
Let's see. So how I got started. So I actually worked a corporate job for 15 years and was laid off at the end of 2014. And I was like, I can't go back. Mm-hmm. So I decided that I was going to launch a personal training business. And one day I'm talking to my friend. I was showing her we're going to work out. And then she said, well, what do we eat? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Let me figure that out. So I found a chef. We started testing recipes. And then we couldn't find a commercial kitchen to make our food because at the time there were no cottage food laws in New Jersey. Right. Plus what we were making was, if you have anything with meat in it, you can't make it at home and sell it as well. So I started, at the time there were 6 commercial kitchens in the state of New Jersey that were open 24/7. So most people were using church kitchens or restaurants after hours. And I was like, we're going to build this thing. I'm going to build something that I can use for my business and then I can rent out to other people. And then I never started that business.
And you bring up an interesting point, not having the cottage food laws in place. They are in place now. Yeah. So, but what is your business model and how has that business model continued to forge success for you? And then what are the key I would say, financial tools that you were able to leverage and what organizations you went to get to unlock some of that capital?
Sure. So unlike most shared commercial kitchens, my kitchen is we charge a flat monthly fee with a 6-month contract. So that was actually very helpful. We opened right before COVID, and I actually had contracts, and so people weren't
They already paid.
They already paid. So that was really nice. But yeah, so we do full and part-time access to our kitchen with the contract. So that's our business model, how it works. We also provide workshops and networking events for our clients as well.
Awesome. And I know when we were talking in the conversation, how do you go about selecting the businesses that end up being able to utilize your kitchen? Because I thought that was very interesting.
Sure. So I learned a lot when we opened. In the beginning, you just take anybody that will show up. But over time, what I realized was that we needed to have an application. So we do that. We actually started charging a $500 application fee. And if you sign your contract within 10 days, you get that application fee put towards your first month. That deters a lot of people from like wasting your time and messing around with you. So they're very serious about that. We also require a business plan. If they're an established business, they have to give a P&L and balance sheet to us. Yeah.
Okay. Now, so you had requirements as well, right, to unlock capital. So what did you do to prepare yourself to structure the business in the way that you have and also to see continued success?
Sure. So I actually didn't know what I was doing when I started out. I'm like, I'm going to open this kitchen. So I started looking at real estate, and I met with one bank, of one of the local regional banks, who actually was very helpful. And the loan officer was like, we need letters of interest. And we need a business plan. I'm like, no problem. I got the business plan. And so I actually started putting together letters of interest. So I thought it was going to be really easy to get a location, and that was the most challenging part. But during that time, I started having networking events, meeting with people, and I got 60 letters of interest to kind of move things forward. So I was able to walk into a bank with that, along with the business plan as well. The other thing that I didn't know you had to do was get architect plans. So I was getting architect plans on 3 different locations before we have selected one at all. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So you had 60 businesses that expressed interest. And I think in our conversation you had shared with me, you did these, like you described, these networking events. So how many of them did you do? When did you know you had done enough to get you to the point where you are to actually get funding for the business?
So I just want to say I was just kind of going along. For the first time in my life, I didn't have a plan per se. I knew I wanted to open this business, but I met with anybody that would talk to me. So I just want to say that I didn't have this structured thing. All I knew was I needed to create a business plan. I needed to figure out how I was going to move forward. And I just kind of let life happen, which I thought was really important as a person that always planned everything to a T. So I will say that. So with the 60 businesses we ended up doing 4 networking events in 2016, and then also started doing a course called the Food Business Bootcamp, which we still give today. But I think probably had about maybe 10 networking events before we started asking people for letters of interest.
I think that's really interesting how you did a lot of things without actually owning the footprint that you're in. So It sounds like you can still launch your business absent having an actual space. You just have to have a product that someone's willing to buy into.
I just needed to show that there was interest. So my husband and my friends, I said I have a fake business for years and years and years. So I'm like, we're going to open this kitchen. And people were like, I kind of sold the dream, and people kind of bought the dream. So that was it. Yeah.
So tell me some of the funding that you were able to unlock and where you went to get to find that information. Because I found that the counties and the municipalities were the best kept secret.
Yes, for sure. So I will say I worked with Hudson County Economic Development and Union County Economic Development to obtain an SBA loan for the business. So they really took my business plan, reviewed it, had me make some updates, and then they made introductions to banks on my behalf.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, again, I'm not holding it against you that you're not in Middlesex County. I say yet. But
I will say Middlesex County was helpful because, Rutgers is here. And so I was able to work with them because I didn't know anything about opening a shared kitchen. And so I was able to work with Nolan down at Rutgers. He helped me and gave me some advice. And so it was really great.
Selfish plug. We have if you're in the food business, we have a food tech summit that's coming up in June where we'll give you all of the tools and resources to figure out how to launch your food related business, right? And it should be no surprise to anyone down the block. There's this thing called the Helix that's opening up H1, H2, H3. You heard it here first, probably in H4. So the H3 will have some incubator space, and we're hoping to hopefully partner with Rutgers University and companies like yours who are doing food incubation and food innovation in a really important way, because there's the intersection between life sciences and food. And I feel like you were going down that path with what you were trying to accomplish, because you are physically fit still. But you know, all the stuff that you're doing with the food business. So how did you get connected with the counties? Did you attend a particular event? Did you just go to the website? Like, how did you?
So I actually started out with a survey for my business. So who's interested in a shared commercial kitchen? How will you use it? What would you pay? It was like I don't know, probably 30 questions. I had a $50 Amex card that I gave away to people that took the survey. And when I posted online, the deputy mayor of Jersey City invited me into the office and said, "We're interested in this business." And that's how that got started. Just so happened, our kids had gone to school together before, so we were connected on Facebook, and she reached out, and I got to go in and meet with their office and present my idea about what I wanted to do. From there, they connected me with Rising Tide Capital, who I know
great organization.
has programs throughout the state. And then I just started attending every entrepreneur event I could possibly attend, wherever it was. I would just get in the car and driving, because I didn't have a job, and so I was like, "This is my job. I'm making this my full-time job to do this thing." Yeah.
No, that's beautiful. Selfishly, I think Kalindi is in the room, if you could stand. Carlos Afalo is in the room, if you could stand. These two individuals work for the Office of Business Engagement. One is the division head of Life Sciences and Food Innovation, and the other one is the division head of Small Businesses. So the importance of posting what you are doing, because we are sleuthing, we are finding you. That's what they do on a constant basis, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. We are constantly on the search for what's the new business, how can we be helpful, how can we be supportive in Middlesex County. And if you're in another county, like you are, we will still support you, because we're all in this together. What is good for one county is good for the next county, because it's good for the state, right? And so that's a really critically important thing that I want everyone to walk away from this conversation understanding. And you already pay for us. I just want to be very clear. I am only here because you all have contributed in some capacity, whether it's your state taxes, your municipal taxes, your county taxes, right? So allow those resources to work for you. The creation of the Office of Business Engagement was intentionally designed by our commissioners, because they wanted to focus on business attraction, and they wanted to focus on business expansion. But by bringing the team that we have on, we are focusing on business retention. Because if we are able to retain those businesses, if those businesses are able to grow, then they continue to tell the story as to why you belong in New Jersey, why you belong in the county, and why you belong in the municipality, right? So continue to post what you are doing, reach out to your counties, and every county is set up differently, right? We have an Office of Business Engagement. We have a Department of Economic Development. I know most of my county counterparts. There are only 21 counties. I know the other 20 counterparts of mine. So if you need to be connected, our office can help you. If you need to be connected to a municipality, our office can probably help you in that regard as well. I work in Middlesex County. I live in Essex County. So if you need anything in Essex County, I can also help you there. But I'm just impressed, because from what you shared when we first talked, is that you were able to do this all on your own. And most businesses, by show of hands, how many of you are currently in communication contact with your municipality or your county? Right. But
more of you should be, because there's money, a lot of money there. I will say this. So I utilize like everything. So the NJEDA has a program. There's one specific grant, the Small Business Improvement Grant. When I bought desks and chairs and tables and stuff, I got reimbursed for all of that stuff from the state. So anything that you have, like you're able to do that and apply for those types of grants.
100%. And our selfish plug, the Office of Business Engagement, can walk you through that as well, because that's not an easy application. I feel like anything with NJEDA or any grant or any reimbursement, there's lots of paperwork involved. So how have you navigated that, and how do you continue to navigate your business now that it's more mature?
So, I mean, really just navigating the grant process. I mean, it is challenging, but I just stopped. I was like, this is really important. I don't want investors. I wanted non-dilutive funds. And so that was the way that I was, able to do that. So the NJEDA, all of these organizations throughout the state do webinars, and they post the application in advance. So I would print the application out, watch the webinar, fill out the application. And then when it opened at 9 a.m. On the 12th, I was sitting at my computer refreshing. And so it was on my calendar, and that's the way I was able to get it. Because also it takes them a long time to process. If you imagine if you applied that day, it could be 4 months later before you actually receive the funds.
That's a process. That's a process as well. I know that we are going to be short on time, but I just wanted to see if anyone had any questions from the audience of us, so that way we can answer them as well, leaving room and space for that. Oh, in the front.
I'm also in the nonprofit space, right? And I wanted to know, is that the same process, would you say, for a nonprofit in the counties?
Yeah, it's the same process. If you want to reach out to us, we will help you navigate. Again, your process is going to be very different from a for-profit business, but there are still some tools and resources that are available to you, because at the end of the day, they want to know, are you going to be able to pay any funding that you've received, or if the funding is going to be funding that is nurtured in the proper way. So we just recently launched a facade improvement grant program. We were very intentional about, you have to take certain classes beforehand, because oftentimes we invest in businesses and then we go to that business 2 to 3 months later and they're no longer there. So that money didn't really help you. There was another issue there that we weren't able to diagnose. So we want to be able to diagnose that issue as well as give you the funding. So yes. Someone in the back that you stood up, sorry.
I have a question. So my name is Brittany. I'm a financial advisor, and most of my clients are small business owners. And I've spoken to a lot of NJEDA reps. I know about their programs, but I find that not all the programs are relevant to everyone's needs. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot of people, and probably including myself, where you need, you don't have like enough capital in reserve to hire an assistant or to pay someone a part-time salary for your business. You don't always need physical items for your business. Is there any resource to actually get funding to hire help for your business?
Yes. A lot of people have that.
Yeah, I don't know of any, and I'll defer to Carla, but yes, she said Essex County does. But I will say one thing when it comes to your business, especially if you're looking at NJEDA, you have a new president and CEO at EDA, and Evan Weiss, who has asked every time he's been on stage, if the programs are broken, I want to know what is broken about them, so that way as we reimagine the programs, right? Because we are currently in a budget cycle, and this is why it's so critically important for you to understand what's happening from a governmental standpoint, because that impacts you when it comes to what programs then inevitably get rolled out. So if that is your feedback, I would put that feedback in writing. I would provide that feedback to someone like me or me, and I can share that, right? Because I do have conversations with EDA. I know Carla has a running list of things, programs that she'd like to see renewed, hopefully, and we can be champions of that, because it's our responsibility, because they are not on the ground every day talking to small businesses as to what is broken and what is not working in terms of their grant process or their loan process, and we can provide that information to them. Oh, sorry, Kalindi had one more thing, sorry. Yeah, to respond to her question.
The New Jersey Department of Labor has grants to hire interns. Usually the grant is open in January.
Oh, yes, you're right. They do. Yes.
They have grants.
Is that the program from Middlesex County College where they help hire someone in 6 months?
No, so that is one of them. So when you say Middlesex College, because that office actually falls under my purview, it's the Office of Workforce and Career Development. There are 3 program areas: Workforce New Jersey, there's adult and dislocated workers, and there's opportunity youth, right? So yes, it's on the job training, they call it OJT, where we'll pay for 6 months of someone's salary utilizing NJDOL funding in hopes that you will then hire that person because they've met your business needs. But we will do that. There's also summer youth employment, which is another program within the Office of Workforce Career Development that you can leverage. If you are a company that needs a PhD level individual, I think that is a year salary that they pay for. 2 years worth of their salary that they pay for if it's a PhD level person that you need to provide support to your business. So yes, I was remiss. The New Jersey Department of Labor does have many programs when they are trying to be more innovative in terms of how they roll those programs out. So good catch. Yes.
What's on the horizon? Expansion.
We have to have a conversation. So I had mentioned during when I was talking about the food business bootcamp program. So we just kind of changed the way that it is. It's an 8-week program now. We just graduated a cohort of 7, and we brought in food scientists, CFOs, operations people, brand and strategy and market research folks to help people actually start. So we're not just giving you a class here to take this information and go off. We're like, no, we're going to do it with you over an 8-week period. So I'm looking to grow that program. So we'll do it again in September, and then we'll also do it 3 times next year as well. So we really want to help you, shepherd you along. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Well,
I had a question. So in the beginning, you said that you were hosting events, I guess, for the interest.
Mhm.
What exactly were you saying, or what were you hosting to attract people to come to these network events? I guess you were trying to build community. What exactly were you posting, and how were you getting the people to come out?
So I actually created a web page that was just like with an email, you put your email in and just said, this is Hudson Kitchen. We plan on opening in whatever. I gave a date, which the date kept changing and ended up being 4 years later, but that's okay. And then I started I went and I created my own email list. I went to the farmers market websites and I created lists of people that could possibly attend and participate. And then I just started talking about it. Hey, we need a commercial kitchen in this area. I'm thinking about opening a kitchen, and that's kind of how it started. Our first event we did March 2016. We had 75 people show up, 15 food vendors sampling their food, and we had a panel discussion. I moderated for the first time ever in my life. So it was just like I just did whatever I thought was the right thing to do. Yeah. It's at thehudsonkitchen.com. Yep.
there's one more question right there.
Hi, my name is Vijay. I have a question around, it seems like a lot of the grants and even loans, but particularly grants that are coming from the county or from the state, it makes sense to give it for like a brick and mortar location, a physical location. But oftentimes people are starting e-commerces, which is something that I'm doing. And so I find that when I've looked for grants, it's harder to get, especially when you're pre-revenue and you really can't commit to giving back to the community in a financial way. So I feel like sometimes it's hard to look attractive to receive a grant. So if there's any advice that you would give for a business like that, because it makes so much sense why the county would want to invest in you, like it's going to trickle down into the community and help. But when you're doing a community business at the e-commerce, I find that sometimes it's a little bit harder, especially if you're pre-revenue. Letters of interest sound like, oh, great, I've got interest, but I feel like they're always wanting to see how much you're currently earning. But if you haven't launched yet, it's a little bit difficult to find funding. So any advice that you have on that?
So one thing comes to mind is like there are specific grants for, and can't think of them off the top of my head, for people that are just starting out with that are pre-revenue. For sure. The other thing, if you're in the beauty business, there are grants, and I know several people that have gotten grants for their beauty business as well. So I think that just like looking in the industry that you're participating in, I think is going to be important.
Yeah, because it can be a bit of a panacea. And what I will say is that, especially in New Jersey, whether you want to believe it or not, especially in the beauty industry, Middlesex County and Somerset County are the top 2 counties for personal care products. So in terms of the downstream chemicals, I know Kalindi, am I getting that right for once? The downstream chemical market we have a dearth of that in Middlesex County and Somerset County. And what we're seeing, because it's considered life sciences, because that's chemicals based sometimes, what we're noticing is that there's a lot of mergers and acquisitions. So there is opportunities for companies that are looking for investment, but just know that investment also might come with acquisition. So all money may not be good money, but but it is out there.
Good question. My name is Nadia. I'm founder of Tiki Blue Diapers. Question with Middlesex County. My warehouse is Edison, Middlesex.
Yay!
However, I'm registered in Union. That's where I live. So
You could still help, but we could still help you. Yeah. We can still help you. Oh, sorry. Time is up. And you have a mayor who truly believes in partnership with Middlesex County and just partnership with its businesses, Mayor Joshi. So more than happy to help you. And I think Kat in his office, who's his chief administrative officer, is phenomenal as well. Utilize the county. We have relationships. But before I leave the stage, there is one woman that I would like to bring up, our county clerk, Nancy Pinkin, to share some words. Oftentimes, we don't understand the power of the clerk's office, but our clerk in particular is a former elected official as well, and she's elected in her capacity currently too.
So elected, yes. Well, welcome to Middlesex County. As you know, this is the county of innovation. How many people have seen the ads in Newark Airport? Yeah. Everybody says, how does Middlesex County do it? Well, we have Sandy and her team, and that's how we do it. And as Sandy said, you're already paying for the salaries that we have of all of the people that are here. How many, let's see, what do you think the percentage of businesses in the country or small businesses? What percent?
75.
99.9. Right?
Yeah.
And that's COVID or not, right? So we're here to help you. It's very important, as Sandy said, to know who your local municipal government is, your county government, state government. We have a woman who's governor now. It's only the second woman who's governor in the history of our state, which is pretty sad, really. But you hear her say all the time, she's a mom, she has 4 kids, she was a pilot, she was an attorney. What was she not? Right? And so she's trying to streamline and make government better and make the state better. We have a great state. We have a lot to be thankful for. We could be in a lot of other states where things are not so good. So from the government side, certainly it's important to vote. We have a primary election coming up. And not only is that election important for New Jersey, but it's important for the federal, because we have congressional races right now, so it's really important. But we're here to serve you, and you can get involved. You have to vote. You have to know how many people know who their legislator is. By the way, you say yeah, but a lot of people don't. So when I served in the assembly like 2013 till 2021, and we did a lot of things like minimum wage. We raised the minimum wage. We did the Family Leave Act, the child care, women on boards. I tried to get a bill passed on women on boards because most of our corporate boards do not have women, do not have minorities, right? And I asked another legislator, would you support me with this legislation? And this woman said to me, well, where would we get the women to be on the corporate boards? And I was like, seriously? So, that's another important way to leverage things together, is to get on corporate boards. I don't know, is anybody here on a corporate board? Certainly MasterCard. Where's our MasterCard person? Okay, so there are a lot of financial boards, a lot of other boards. So when those boards are making corporate decisions, who to work with, who to finance, who to do all that, if there are no women on those boards, no minorities on those boards, who are they going to pick, right? So that's a really important thing to advocate. But the other thing is I think you said it today, by going tonight to the restaurant, is to leverage each other. You have that power of business. When you're having an opportunity, there was recently the mayor in New Brunswick was talking about an event, and he said they were doing a mobile makeup, I think, was a new thing. But they didn't just promote that mobile makeup. They created an event that they could have her kick off, leverage a lot of other things, get the floors to come in, get somebody else to come in, bring all of the business together. That's how we have strength in numbers. So thank you, Sandy, for having a great event.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Djenaba, for the conversation today. And thank you all for your very rich and questions. And we look forward to continuing to be of support. And I think we're breaking for it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.